Thanks for tuning into the 6Three podcast. I'm your host, Joel, co-host Ben. We've done 1990, we've done 91, and we are now on 92, which is the year I was born, which really goes back. That's 30 years ago. This draft. Wow. And Ben was pointing out there's a lot of guys in this class that really shows how time has passed. Let's say Craig Counsell is a manager. We've talked about how Phil Nevin was a manager and his son plays, and we've talked about how Fernando Tatis's son is one of the greatest players in baseball these days. So it's going to really show our age, I think. And a lot of these stories. And Derek Jeter obviously is in this class, and he is a former owner of the Marlins. So, Ben, you do get first overall pick, as I picked Manny Ramirez first last time, and you picked Chipper Jones first in 1990. So we're going to go back to 92.
Yeah. I'm going to pick Derek Jeter.
That's not a bad idea.
The pride of Kalamazoo, Michigan. 3,000 hits, Hall of Famer. Can't really go wrong.
Almost 3,500 hits. Really.
Yeah, and he plays, a position of great importance in the shortstop position. So one of the best shortstops of all time. I think it's pretty clear. So,
yeah, I mean, 14 All-Star games. A lot of people will say in his last 4 or 5 years, a lot of those were pretty pressed, but
sure.
Winner
though. Definitely a winner.
I mean, and it's what they did this year. They put Pujols and Miguel Cabrera in the All-Star game. So it's just kind of a legacy thing. But yeah, he's a World Series MVP, Hall of Famer, 5-time Silver Slugger, 5-time Gold Glove.
Yep.
He's 8th all-time in at-bats in the big leagues, and over 71 WAR, which is absolutely nuts. So yeah, very good baseball player right there, for sure. So I think my guy is going to be. I don't feel great about taking a designated hitter in my first pick, but David Ortiz, Big Papi, I'm going to take next year.
Okay.
And obviously he was an international signing. We count the international signings in this class too, the year that they were signed. So some of these guys were 16 when they were signed out of Cuba or whatever. But yeah, David Ortiz was in that international signing class in 92. So
yeah, that's a good pick. He's flat out hit, so you can't really go wrong there.
541 home runs, 286 Hall of Fame, 10 All-Star games, home run derby champ, 7 Silver Sluggers, and a World Series MVP and a 55 WAR. So yeah.
I don't know. Probably don't really care about steroid use in this, do we?
So, no, I mean, we talked about Andy Pettitte last time. So
I'll go Jason Giambi here. Number 3.
He was good without the steroids. It's the same with Barry Bonds.
He's got an MVP, 5-time All-Star, won a home run derby. Not that really matters. 50.5 WAR, 440 homers, hit 277, over 2,000 hits. Just really, really, really good hitter. Was widely considered one of the best first basemen around for a while.
Yeah, this is my next question. You're going to put him at first base, DH, or left field?
For now, first base, definitely not left field.
Okay.
Maybe if something goes wrong, or we'll see how this shakes out. I guess I really don't need to make a decision until later. But
yeah, if the outfield's
really bad, then there's possibility.
I don't think it is. I think the outfield's pretty good in this class.
No, I think it's not bad. So yeah.
That was my third pick too. So we're going right in order here. I guess I'm going to go with Johnny Damon.
Okay. Yep.
Outfield here.
I considered him with a third pick just because outfield versus.
Like I said, these top 5 or 6 are all really good players in my opinion. But yeah, Johnny Damon, 284 career hitter, 235 homers, over 1,100 RBIs, over 400 stolen bases to go with it, nearly 2,800 hits. Only 2 All-Star games, but obviously when he played, outfield was a very stacked position. 26th all time in power speed number with over a 56 WAR, which surprisingly, if we're going to go by WAR, it's above Giambi, and I think that's above David Ortiz. So
yeah, that makes sense. What position do I want to go?
There's a lot of options here yet.
Now, some guys that good too. Let me check something real quick. I just want to see. Yeah. Don't love that. No, wrong guy. Hold on. I'm gonna finish the middle of my infield here.
Okay, good. That's it, my guy.
I'm gonna take Luis Castillo here. Actually,
Ooh,
I don't like him. I like his bat.
no power. Absolutely no power.
Yeah, I don't like his bat. I like his bat a lot more than Craig Counsell. Craig Counsell's got a little more positional, I guess, flexibility, but that's fine. No power, only hit 28 home runs in his career, but just under a 30 WAR, 3-time All-Star, 3-time Gold Glove, can definitely play defense.
Only 111 hits short of 2,000.
Yep, hit 290 in his career. So yeah, we'll go with Luis Castillo. Was very good for a long time, especially with the Marlins.
I was looking at the numbers on Baseball Reference, and it says he has the lowest power rate over his. He had a long career, obviously, but
yeah, he had no power at all.
When you only have 28 home runs on 1,900 hits.
I mean, he was only 145 pounds at 5'11".
Yeah, that's true. So. He was a great fielder, though. 3 Gold Gloves. So.
Yep.
All right, I'm gonna take. I was wondering if you're gonna go in this direction. Obviously, like we talked about, pretty stacked, but I'm going to go another corner outfield here opposite Johnny Damon. I'm going to go with Raul Ibanez.
Yep.
He had over 300 career home runs. On top of that, he hit 272, 1,200 RBIs plus, over 2,000 hits as well. He had an all-star game and a 21 WAR.
Okay.
So I love my corner outfield.
Yeah, that's a good corner outfield there. Oh, man.
I could put him at first base if I wanted to, but no.
You could. You definitely could. Let me check something real quick. I'll go with Phil Nevin here.
Okay.
Just because he can play third and also can play some outfield and first base. About a 16 WAR, over 1,100 hits, 208 home runs, hit 270. Good power guy. Played for 12 years. Just overall pretty good hitter. Had a couple years, a stretch there with the Padres where he hit 31, then 41 home runs. Who knows? Steroids could be a thing then too. Who knows? But good power, and was an overall pretty solid hitter, hitting 270 for his career too, especially because his first 3 seasons he was hitting a combined over or under 200. So it tells you he really turned it around.
Yeah, he's very utility guy. And utility guy wasn't a very big thing back in the 90s. So he was one of the first that could play all the outfield positions and corner infield. So it's a good pick. I am going to go with the best catcher in the class, and it's Jason Kendall. I don't think there's any doubt in that one. 288 career hitter, not a lot of pop in his bat, so only 75 career homers with almost 2,200 hits. So that's a pretty low power rate. But 3 all-star games, 42 WAR, and he had the 3rd most putouts as a catcher all time.
Okay. I don't know. I'll go with Kelvin Escobar here.
Okay.
I'll go with the best starting pitcher, I guess.
Out of the 2. Yeah.
24.4 WAR, won 101 games, just over 4 ERA, had some solid years, especially one of his last 2 years with 07 with the Angels. I remember that season, actually. He won 18 games. So overall, really good, really solid starting pitcher, and got better as his career went on. So.
I'm going to stack my outfield then, and I'm going to finish it with, I'm going to have to put Bobby Higginson at center field probably, unless I put Damon at center field. Either way, I'll maybe change those around, but that really gives me a really great 3 outfielders. Bobby Higginson hit 272 in his career, just under 200 homers, over 700 RBIs, almost 100 stolen bases, over 1,300 hits, and he had a 23 WAR. It's one of the mainstays with the Tigers over the course of even their bad years and their mediocre years.
Yeah. I need to get some outfielders. I'll take Preston Wilson for now. 189 homers, hit 264. Played 10 years, was an all-star, won the 06 World Series. Solid defender, had 141 RBIs in 2003 with Colorado. Steroids again, maybe. And he was hitting in Colorado, so that makes a difference. 36 home runs that year. He had a couple other seasons where he was up there in homers. Got struck out a lot. He led the league in strikeouts in 2000. He had 187 Ks that year. But overall solid defender, and had a stretch there in the middle of his career where he was really good. So
I'm going to consider this a blessing. Obviously, you dealt with this position right off the bat, but Edgar Renteria falling all the way to me here with a 286 career hitter, over 2,300 hits, in 5 All-Star games and over a 32 WAR. He was a World Series MVP, 3 Silver Sluggers, 2 Gold Gloves, almost 300 stolen bases, and the relative pop in his bat, probably averaged about 15 homers a year. So, I love Edgar Renteria following me here. So,
all right. I mean, really good player. I like Edgar Renteria a lot.
You just already filled your infield, and Edgar Renteria was only a shortstop.
Point for me to.
If he had flexibility at third base, you could have used him over like Nevin.
Exactly, he's pretty much just a shortstop. Yeah, you took the cake in the outfield for the most part.
I did that in the 1991 also.
Yeah, but I do have a good infield.
You do have a very good infield. Very Yankee laden, but we'll go.
It is, and that's okay. They were really good.
They were good in the 90s.
They were really good in the 90s. That was their time.
Although I don't think Giambi was a 90s Yankee.
No, he wasn't.
He was a 90s A.
Man, that guy stinks. All right, I will go with just because I like saying his name and he's got a good amount of positional flexibility. Frank Catalanado here.
Ooh, Texas Ranger former guy.
Yep. Because I might use him somewhere else. We'll see what happens here. But we'll for now put him in the outfield. Yep. 14.5 WAR, over 1,100 hits, 84 home runs, 291 in his career. So
that's
played
good.
14 years. So that's pretty good. A good average guy. No real power. Never hit more than 13 home runs in a season, but we'll take him as an average guy. You got to fill your roster with guys like that. So we'll take Frank Catalanado there.
So I could move. I don't really want to move Ortiz to first base. I might give him a DH, but worst case, this is a reserve outfielder and really prevent you from having a good outfield. I think Shannon Stewart is a good option here. I mean, Shannon Stewart's not like any kind of superstar, but let me pull up his numbers here real quick. He primary left fielder, hit just under 300 for his career as well. 115 homers, 600 RBIs ish, just under 200 stolen bases, almost 1,700 hits, and a 25 WAR. So I really like Shannon Stewart here. Gonna get a little selfish on not sharing the outfield.
That's okay. I'll take Fernando Tatis then, because I'll put him in the outfield more than likely.
Okay.
Because it's that or probably like Quinton McCracken, who hit like 21 home runs in his entire career. So we're going to take Fernando Tatis, who wasn't that great. Definitely didn't have the pop.
Not his son by any means.
But his son, maybe he can just, bring his son along or something.
Yeah, sneak him in the game.
265 career hitter, did hit 113 homers, 807 hits. He played 11 years. Was decent. Good, he had 34 homers in 1 year. Again, whenever I see outliers like that, I just think what happened? Something weird was going on there. Especially in like
in this like age range,
late 90s, early 2000s. I'm like,
a little sussy,
something's weird, or they're juicing the balls, which is very possible. But good utility guy and a guy that is positional, definitely has some positional flexibility, which helps, especially because you cornered the market on outfielders in this draft.
Yeah. So this guy, I mean, I've got my shortstop Renteria, but I was wondering if you were boycotting him because he was a Tiger. Carlos Guillen.
No, I like Carlos Guillen kind of, but
yeah, shortstop, third base, and second baseman. 285 career hitter. Again, that's a good average. 124 homers, 660 RBIs, 75 stolen bases, over 1,300 hits, 3 All-Star games, and just under 28 WAR. I think I'm probably going to put him at third base for now. I think second was probably not his ideal position. So
Okay.
more the Mariners when he played third. So
Yeah. I'm gonna just compare these two guys real quick.
well, I mean, we talked about your team being Yankee laden. Mine is now Tigers laden, even though if Renteria played for a year and Johnny Damon, I think, was a year or two.
Yep.
But, I mean, I got
I'll
Higginson again. So
I'll take Ron Vallone here.
ooh,
Played 15 years.
yeah, good reliever.
Very durable left-handed pitcher. I don't really look at ERA as a stat that I really care about for relievers, but just under
It's so
5.
fluid. I always wonder why that is. Why is a reliever, a guy out of the bullpen's ERA 1 year can be 5.40 and the next year 2.81, and it's like, how did you pull this off? It's so fluid.
Well, yeah, and just you have like one bad month and your ERA can be completely inflated.
Mhm.
But the other reason why I'll take him is because he had some years where he started, so especially early in his career. So he technically can duel up as a starting pitcher as well. So
A lot of games pitched, 717 games. So
yep.
Yeah,
Durable.
Yes, I'll take a backup catcher here too, and take the cream of the crop. I think Charles Johnson was a very good catcher for the Orioles a long time. Just under 250 career hitter, 167 homers, 570 RBIs, just under 1,000 hits, 2 All-Star games, 4 Gold Gloves, over a 22.5 WAR, and he's 5th all time in caught stealing percentage. So good arm behind the plate as well.
All right. I'll take Doug Mirabelli here. Let's see here. Hit 231, was always typically a backup catcher. I remember him being a backup catcher in Boston when they were pretty good.
The Phillies too.
Yep, played for let's see. Nope, the Giants, Boston.
Maybe I remember one with Boston. I better remember one with Boston.
Yeah, you'd remember with Boston when he was it was 04. They won the World Series, but I remember
it was the backup to Jason Varitek. That's right.
Yeah, exactly. Was always just a good backup catcher. He had a couple good years where he was good at the plate, where he hit like 270, but we'll just take him as a solid catcher. And played for 12 years, so it tells me that he was a good catcher. Surviving as a backup catcher.
That's tough to do. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna go with Rich Aurelia.
Right.
Shortstop, first base, and third baseman, hit 275 in his career, just under 200 homers, over 750 RBIs. Kind of slow, only 23 career stolen bases, just under 1,600 hits, and over an 18 WAR. I remember him with the Giants. And I think I'm going to put him at first base since I got all my other ones.
Okay. I'll go with Brendan Donnelly here.
Ooh, that's who that was my next pick. I think he's the best.
Yeah, I think he is. He didn't pitch for very long though. He only pitched 9 years,
which is crazy. There's some amazing numbers, but yeah.
Yep. Was an all-star.
Yep.
Remember, he didn't start in the major leagues until he was age 30. That's why he only pitched in 9 years. He didn't get up to the big leagues until he was 30 years old.
Oh,
which is crazy.
Those numbers, like the win-to-loss ratio too, at
32 and 10. His ERA was 3.22,
which is amazing.
He didn't start any games. It wasn't really a closer or anything, but he ate some innings and was just overall really effective in those 9 seasons, and was an all-star in 03.
Yeah. He was my sleeper.
Yep.
Yeah, I was really hoping he was going to fall to me in the next 2 picks here, but I was doing research on when I saw his win-to-loss ratio of 32 and 10. That's a 762 win percentage. That's higher than any starter all time, and that's even back in like the 1900s with like the inflated Cap Ansons and like the Ty Cobbs of the world and stuff.
Yep. He right here, he's got the really cool stats here. He pitched for 21 teams, 2 of them being independent, 12 organizations, 2 independent leagues, 11 organized minor leagues, and both the American and National League. And then he was the winning pitcher of the 03 All-Star game, and he retired in 2011. He was named in the Mitchell report about steroids. So
yeah.
So was everybody.
Pretty much, again, that's these are the kind of drafts we're going through these years. These are the years. Tough, dude. You took, I mean, two pitchers. I mean, Escobar and Donnelly were probably my two targets. So that's really going to hurt me. I got a really good offense, but what good is that if I'm going to also give up 6 or 7 runs in the game? Let's see here. Still need. All right, I'm going to finish my infield. I'm going to get Jose Vidro at second base. Yeah, I mean, 298 career hitter. Very good. So just under 130 homers, 655 RBIs, over 1,500 hits, 3 All-Star games, a Silver Slugger, and a 17.5 WAR. Very happy with my hitters. But yeah, I'm going to be hurt when I got to start picking pitchers.
Yep. I mean, the pitching in this is not very good. What else do I need?
So you still need a DH, reserve infield, reserve outfield, and reserve catcher, and then three more pitchers.
I'll take Chris Widger as my reserve catcher just because he played for the White Sox for a while, and I remember him having like some game.
I have a baseball card of Chris Widger's.
Yeah, I remember Chris Widger. He's cool.
Yeah,
I played golf with a guy whose last name's Widger every Thursday, so that's cool.
That also helps. You should let him know that you drafted someone related to him somewhere down the line.
Somewhere down the line, there's a Widger, Chris Widger. He played for a while though. Is he a manager now?
Unless maybe the minor leagues, I guess.
Minor league manager. Yep, looks like it.
No kidding. Yeah, that negative half WAR, but again, he was just like Mirabelli, just a long-term.
He was the minor league manager of the year in 2021. Maybe he'll be my manager.
Ooh, player. We just like you drafted a player manager in the last draft. Wasn't it
Matheny?
Matheny?
It was Mike Matheny. Yep. But no, Widger had a couple decent years. Never a great hitter. He didn't play a lot of games for the Yankees in 2002, but hit well while he was there. I remember he played for the White Sox in 2005. That was the year they won the World Series, which is why I remember. So pretty cool. Played for 10 years.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to get my player manager and backup infielder, and that's Craig Counsell.
All right.
Second base, shortstop, third base, 255 career hitter. Not a lot of pop, only 42 homers, 400 RBIs, 103 stolen bases, 1,200 hits, and a 22.5 WAR.
Yeah. Yep. Not bad. I need a DH of some sort.
Yeah. 3 pitchers, a DH, and reserve infield and outfield.
Yeah. Let me check this guy real quick here.
I still want to draft another position player, but I need to get all my picks have to be pitchers from here on out.
Yeah, they kind of do. Man, that guy.
But I have an outfielder that I really like yet. So.
Guy dunk. One more look at one more guy. There's a few options here. The pitching is your pitching staff is going to be really bad. I'm sorry. I'm
going to have to definitely just do like 2 or 3 innings at a time from a bullpen, I think.
You know what? You didn't take Bobby Higginson yet, did you?
I did. Yeah, I did.
Oh, you already took him. That's right.
You take another Tiger, though. The other guy that I still want to take is an outfielder that played for the Tigers and the Cardinals.
He did, yeah. I don't know.
He had good numbers. There's a lot of former Tigers still on this list yet.
Yeah.
I mean, even Nathy Perez was there for a year, I think.
I am actually going to take Nathy Perez as my
reserve infielder.
Yeah, reserve infielder. Nathy Perez. What a guy.
Gold glove to go with it.
Yep. He was a great fielder.
Yeah.
I remember watching him. Certainly was good at defense. He's a little bigger than Luis Castillo. He's 6'1", 175.
Yeah.
2.6 WAR, not great.
He was a backup. He was kind of a utility backup. I mean, he started a couple years, but for the most part,
he played a lot early in his career. I mean, he led the league in at bats one year with Colorado, and triples that same year. So was a good player for a while there early in his career. 267 career hitter in 12 years. I'll take it as a backup infielder.
Take it. Oh man. All right. So I guess I'm just gonna get out of the way and get Rick Helling as my starting pitcher. Even if he gives me 4 2/3, I'm going to take it. He's not eligible for the win. Who cares? 234 career starts, still a winning record, 93 and 81, but that was a pretty decent Red Sox team. 4.68 ERA. He did get over almost 1,100 strikeouts and a 20.2 WAR. So, you know, nothing to write home about, but a guy that's just been a serviceable starter for most of his career.
Sure. Let's see this guy. Look at how I'll go with Paul Shuey here.
Ooh, I had him as one of my next bullpen targets. So
yep, 11 years in the league, had some really bad years, but he had some good years too. 3.87 ERA, pretty good there. Had some years where he pitched quite a bit. Had some good years with Cleveland mostly. So we'll take him as a bullpen guy. There's no real like closers in this.
Yeah, there's no closer. Yep.
No.
Yeah, I think the leading saves guy in here is, I'm not gonna take him, but I don't know. Well, maybe I should, because if I say anything else,
to run out of pitchers you even take here soon. I mean,
we got to know. I counted. I think there's 12 or 13 pitchers, so it's just enough to reach to take 6. But I'm gonna go with Ryan Franklin because I think he's the next best available. He also started 106 career games, 532 total games, 84 saves, which does lead all of these players in saves. Yeah. Just over a 4 ERA, just under 700 strikeouts, and an 11.5 WAR. That's pretty decent for a bullpen guy. So,
yeah, not bad. He was probably the next best one there. I would agree. Yeah. Does anybody have any like power? Like, good grief. Nobody's just like a power guy, really.
I know.
Hold on one second. I want to check something. This guy. I'll go with Michael Tucker.
Okay. Reserve outfielder?
Yeah. It might end up DHing, but 8.1 WAR, 256 average, hit 125 homers, over 1,000 hits, played for 12 years. With a lot of different teams, mostly with the Royals, but with quite a few different teams. Never really had a ton of power at all. Never hit more than 15 homers, but had a bit of speed, stole 23 bags one year. Walked a decent amount, didn't really strike out too much, so we'll take him.
Yeah.
Take him there as reserve outfielder or DH. We'll see.
Yeah, I was gonna say I kind of had him right up there with Juan Encarnacion.
Yep.
The two guys I like the most.
Yep.
You could also still get Juan. You still need a DH.
Juan.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna go with the next guy with the.
Said, can I take Edwin Encarnacion? No.
Not yet. I'm sure in the next couple drafts he'll be there.
Yep.
Man, I guess I'm going to take the guy with the next most amount of saves behind Franklin. That's going to be Juan Acevedo.
Yep.
367 games, 34 of them started, 53 total saves, a 4.3 ERA, and just over a 2.5 WAR. So nothing special again, but we're kind of scraping the bottom now with some of these bullpen guys.
Yeah, we definitely are.
Yep, you still need a DH and 2 more pitchers, and then you're all good.
Yeah, I guess I'll take Jamie Walker.
No, I wanted the lefty. That was my next pick.
Played for Detroit
and the Orioles.
Baltimore. Pitched in the most games in 2007. He pitched in 81 games with Baltimore. So that was led the league in that. Was never all that great. Let's be completely honest. 4.13 ERA though, 19 and 21. Wins and losses don't mean a ton for a reliever, but certainly means something. Yeah, never had any like just blow up crazy bad year. Just solid overall, decent arm.
Yep. Oh shoot, that was a big one for me, man. You stole a tiger right out underneath me.
Sorry.
All right. Well, I am going to take. I'll take Aaron Foltz because I think he's a lefty too. So 463 games, 25-15 is a pretty good record. Only 3 saves, 4.2 ERA, just under 400 strikeouts, just under 3 WAR. I think he pitched as a main bullpen guy for about 9 years, but
yeah. So what do I still need?
I think one more pitcher and a DH.
DH. Oh boy. Chris Gomez played for. How did Chris Gomez stick around the league for 16 years? He had a negative.
He had 1,200 hits. Granted, he had a negative WAR.
He had a negative WAR. The only reason he had 1,200 hits is because he was around for 16 years.
I mean, there's some decent. I mean, Randall Simon didn't play very long.
No.
Encarnacion, you got Karim Garcia.
Yeah, I think I'm probably going to take
Quinton McCracken.
Yeah, no, McCracken stunk.
Todd Green is a base. He could also play catcher, but he had a negative WAR.
I have 2 catchers.
Yes. All right, so you're taking Gomez.
No,
Then you got to move. I don't think he's a great DH option, but
no, he's not. That's just awful. I will take Todd Green. I'll put him at DH for now, and we'll figure out.
I mean, he's got position of. I mean, he again played catcher, outfield, first base.
Yep.
So
he's got positional flexibility, which is the name of the game.
Technically, 3 catchers now on your roster is pretty nuts. So.
Yep. They're not good, any of them.
Yeah, I know.
At least they're probably pretty good, but like not at none of them were great bats.
Yeah, I was gonna say they're all career backup catchers. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess here I'll take TJ Matthews to pitch.
Yep.
362 games, 32 and 26, 16 saves, 3.82 ERA. So sub 4 finally for me in the bullpen. A 5 WAR, over 350 Ks. So I think that actually is going to have to close out. I think because it's all the pitchers. So
yeah, I think it is.
That is all of them. So.
All
right, cool. We'll stick with 35 players total on this one. That's fine.
That's fine. We don't need anything crazy.
Good.
I don't need another arm.
Yeah.
Each of them are gonna throw like 2 innings. We're just gonna slowly chip away there. So
well, granted, you might still get a good 5 or 6 out of Escobar. I like Escobar over Helling, but if Helling can be 4 to start, we'll go from there. So
right.
All right. Well, I'm gonna download this one real quick, and we'll be back in about 8 to 10 minutes again.